Archangel Michael says, keep this message close to your chest, for its weight carries destiny in disguise. What's being released over your life is far too sacred to share loosely. One whisper in the wrong ear could delay everything. Someone you thought would clap for you is secretly planning how to block what heaven is about to give. In the invisible realm, your name was spoken clearly, louder than before, and it shook the corridors of light and shadow. The angel stood in silence as a scroll was sealed with your name, your purpose, and the time it must be fulfilled. But the moment this scroll descended to earth, a dark energy picked up your scent. You're about to walk into something unexplainable, a shift that will leave people stunned by how your life suddenly begins to glow. The person closest to you, the one who keeps smiling, has seen glimpses of this. Their spirit is not celebrating, it's preparing to compete. You were not meant to fight them. You were meant to walk in silence as the wind of God carries you higher. They pretend they don't notice your changes, but they're watching every step. Something inside them is burning with a question they can't say aloud: why you and not them? Type Amen to get blessing 333. Archangel Michael says, do not argue or explain yourself. This favor coming to you was written long before their envy was born. They didn't expect the prophecy over your life to take form so quickly. You've been through hidden seasons of pain, confusion, and sacrifice that nobody clapped for. But now, the reward is being transferred to your name, and that transfer is visible in the spirit. That's why you suddenly feel the tension in conversations you once enjoyed. They're trying to stay close just to monitor what's unfolding. They know a divine moment is coming, and they want to be near when it strikes, not to celebrate, but to interfere. Your silence is your greatest protection. Keep your moves hidden. Don't post everything. Don't talk about every opportunity. Don't mention the sudden dreams or visions. Heaven is trying to deliver something privately. Type Amen to get blessing 929. You'll notice strange things now: phone calls cut short, glances that feel too sharp, energy that shifts when you walk in the room. This isn't paranoia. It's the spiritual response of someone losing control over your narrative. They built their identity around you staying small. Now that your light is getting brighter, they don't know how to love you without comparison. This is why they are quiet when good things happen. What's coming is rare. It's divine. It's bigger than a new job, a new connection, or a financial door. It's a full unlocking of your spiritual inheritance. They weren't expecting your roots to go that deep. They underestimated your connection with the divine realm. That was their first mistake. Type Amen to get blessing 441. Be careful now. Every sentence you speak is a seed, and they are ready to twist your words into weapons. The next 24 hours are crucial. Someone is going to try to extract information from you disguised as concern. They'll say, I'm just checking in, but they're collecting evidence. They'll say, what's new with you, but they're listening for timing. They'll say, I'm proud of you, but jealousy will bleed from their tone. You must answer with grace but guard with fire. You are not being cruel, you're being obedient. Obedient to the command that sacred things must be protected until their appointed time. Type Amen to get blessing 777. You're walking into rooms that were once locked to you. They are being opened by keys you didn't know you held. And the moment you step in, someone else will feel like they've been locked out. This is not about arrogance. This is about prophecy. You were chosen to fulfill something that stretches generations, and your timeline has been activated. They thought you would stay beneath them. They never imagined your voice would echo louder than theirs. But now they're seeing it in your posture, your silence, and your glow. Their heart is troubled by what they sense but cannot control. That's why the atmosphere feels different. That's why you feel watched. Type Amen to get blessing 222. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, a window has opened for you. But with it comes warfare that won't look like swords and screams, it'll look like side eyes and soft betrayals. Don't share what God hasn't told you to release. Keep your screenshots to yourself. Don't forward the email. Don't reveal the date of the meeting. You're under spiritual surveillance. They're mimicking your language, copying your ideas, trying to match your pace. But they cannot duplicate your favor. That was coded into your soul. You're about to see people reveal their truest form, without even trying. Their envy will speak louder than their lips. And you'll know exactly who not to trust. Type Amen to get blessing 648. Be mindful of dreams in the next 3 nights. They won't just be symbols, they'll be previews. You'll see the face of someone who is plotting against your success. Pay attention to repeated names, recurring colors, and shifting locations in these dreams. They are spiritual coordinates guiding you away from danger. When you wake up, don't dismiss them, document them. A warning will come wrapped in something familiar. It might be a message from someone you haven't heard from in weeks. It may be a random comment on your post. Nothing is random right now. You're being observed. Not just by the jealous, but by angelic forces who are measuring your response. Stay grounded. Stay silent. Stay wise. Type Amen to get blessing 565. Your reward is being measured by your restraint. The temptation to show off, to defend, to announce, ignore it. Your power lies in mystery. God is writing your rise in invisible ink. Only those with divine insight can see what's happening. That's why others are confused by your calm. They don't know what's about to crash into your life in blessing form. You're in the middle of a holy transaction. Don't interrupt it with unnecessary conversations. There are eyes on you that don't deserve your energy. If you move right now, you'll outrun the trap that was set to embarrass you. If you stay quiet, you'll expose the person who was pretending all along. Type Amen to get blessing 1010. You're rising faster than their manipulation can handle. That's why they're growing more agitated. They sense something is slipping from their grasp, and it is you. They don't know how to handle a version of you that doesn't need their validation. That's the version God is calling forward. This is the moment where separation begins. You may feel alone for a while, but it's not loneliness, it's sacred isolation. That's where God speaks the clearest. That's where the blueprint gets delivered. They won't understand why you've gone silent. They'll think you're changing. And they're right, you are. You're finally becoming what heaven always saw. Type Amen to get blessing 311. Your footsteps are now echoing in the spiritual realm. Each move you make is shifting old curses out of the way. You've broken something ancestral just by surviving this far. You're not just walking into blessing. You're walking into correction of everything stolen from your bloodline. And heaven is watching how you carry this moment. Don't bend for applause. Don't shrink for approval. This is not the time to blend in, it's time to ascend. But do it with reverence. Keep the sacred secret. Don't share it, not even with those who seem supportive. Prophetic future is fragile before it's fulfilled. Type Amen to get blessing 884. There will be a moment soon where someone will offer you a deal that looks supportive but feels slightly off. If your spirit feels tight, walk away. It's a disguised delay. Not all support is from heaven. Some are traps in nice packaging. And if you talk too much too soon, they'll mirror your blessing and use it against you. Move in codes. Speak in parables. Don't show your full hand until it's time to win. Even your smile is spiritual warfare now. It disarms the ones who want you to break. Let them wonder. Type Amen to get blessing 999. What's arriving isn't ordinary. That's why the enemy isn't using ordinary attacks. He's using familiar faces, nostalgic connections, and sweet-talking spirits to destabilize your focus. You must remain locked in. Your next, yes, must come from discernment, not emotion. The enemy will push distractions dressed as opportunities. Ignore the noise. Elevation often feels like isolation first. It's heaven's way of getting your undivided attention. Soon, your name will be spoken in places your feet haven't touched yet. But you'll know you're close when the jealousy becomes unspoken and the distance feels intentional. Type Amen to get blessing 717. And now, let this be your confirmation, heaven is delivering what you silently prayed for. That's why your path feels heavy, it's carrying breakthrough inside it. You're not imagining the shift. You're in the middle of it. Archangel Michael says, the battle was loud, but your reward will be quiet and massive. Walk away from the jealous, protect what's forming, and watch what happens when obedience meets divine timing. The spotlight is not the reward, the shift in your soul is. Don't share what you're carrying until it's fully born. Not everyone clapping has clean hands. Your silence is not weakness, it is strategy. What you're carrying is not just a dream, it's a divine scroll encrypted with heaven's seal. If you speak it too soon, the wrong listener could dismantle the very bridge you're meant to walk across. They're trying to force their way into a blessing that doesn't belong to them. And deep down, you've already sensed their jealousy, but you kept hoping it wasn't real. Now, the veil is lifting, and their energy can no longer be disguised. They're not clapping, they're calculating. Every success you mention, they mark the date. Every favor you celebrate, they whisper doubts into others' ears to keep the spotlight off of you. But Archangel Michael says, you were never meant to need their applause to rise. You were built to rise quietly, while the heavens resound with trumpets no man can hear. Type Amen to get blessing 412. You're in the final steps before it all unlocks. The last test is not physical, it's emotional. Can you handle being misunderstood while walking in purpose? They will call you distant. They will accuse you of arrogance. But really, your distance is your defense, and your silence is your sanctuary. Don't argue. Don't explain. Just ascend. Heaven is backing your every step. Even when you don't feel seen by people, you are being observed by angels assigned to you. They are writing down your restraint as obedience. And your obedience is unlocking an acceleration no one can reverse. Type Amen to get blessing 606. You'll soon notice how light you feel. The heaviness of needing approval will vanish. You won't need to prove your worth anymore. When your elevation becomes undeniable, the same people who doubted you will come back, pretending they always believed. Don't hold grudges, but don't hand out access. Discernment will be your new wealth. You are not being mean, you are being marked. Marked for something higher. Something so sacred that heaven itself is protecting it with invisible fire. Don't share the vision. Not until the roots are deep enough to survive any storm. Not until the light around it can't be dimmed by shade. Type Amen to get blessing 2229. One of the most dangerous spirits in your circle right now is the one who pretends to understand you. They mirror your excitement but carry envy in their shadows. They repeat your words in other rooms, but twisted. They study your life more than they study their own growth. They're trying to catch up by stealing your steps. You didn't ask for this battle. But your blessing triggered it. And that's how you know it's real. Jealousy doesn't follow the ordinary. You're being called to keep a prophetic posture. Stay low. Stay aware. Let the thunder arrive before you declare the storm is coming. Type Amen to get blessing 1444. There's a voice in your spirit that's been telling you, they're not happy for you. And you've ignored it for the sake of peace. But peace doesn't come from ignoring discernment. The most dangerous people are not your enemies, they're the friends who disguise their jealousy as advice. They'll say, don't get your hopes up. They'll say, take your time. But their motive is delay, not protection. The prophetic mantle you carry exposes hidden hearts. It agitates demons pretending to be helpers. That's why the room feels cold when you speak about your blessings. You must learn to read energy, not just words. You must learn to feel the shift, not just observe the smile. Type Amen to get blessing 383. There will come a moment when the same person who doubted you will need your help. When that day comes, you'll have the grace to assist, but the wisdom to set boundaries. This next chapter requires spiritual maturity. Not everyone deserves to walk with you into fulfillment. Some are only equipped to observe it from a distance. Let them watch. Let them whisper. You were never called to be liked, you were called to be chosen. And being chosen means walking roads most won't understand. It means guarding what's sacred, even when you want to celebrate it. Your celebration will come. But not in their presence. It will come when heaven opens the curtain and reveals you were right to trust the whisper over the noise. Type Amen to get blessing 9000. You are entering the part of your story where the applause comes from within. Where your peace matters more than public opinion. where you know what's coming even before it arrives. Prophetic timing is never rushed. But it is always precise. Right now, the divine clock is ticking, preparing the moment that will make everything make sense. Don't share the date. Don't reveal the details. The silence around your breakthrough is your strongest shield. Every word you've spoken in private has been heard in heaven. Every seed sown in faith is being watered by angels. Your harvest is near, but the soil must remain undisturbed. Type Amen to get blessing 32:12. When the announcement comes, and it will shock those who thought you had nothing. The same people who rolled their eyes will drop their jaws. The same ones who ignored your pain will envy your peace. That is why this silence matters so much. It's not weakness. It's divine concealment. You are the prophecy. You are the fulfilled scroll. You are what they didn't expect. And no weapon formed in jealousy, gossip, or doubt will prosper. You have been sealed in spiritual protection. But your part is to stay hidden until it's time. Type Amen to get blessing 10001. Even now, heaven is shifting things behind the scenes. You're about to receive messages, calls, and opportunities that don't make sense, because they're not from man. They're from God. When they ask, "How did you get that?" you won't be able to explain it. Because divine favor cannot be explained. It can only be witnessed. Remember this, some will act offended when you refuse to explain your growth. That's because they expected to manage it. But no one can manage what was never theirs to begin with. Type Amen to get blessing 888. Let this be your final confirmation. What's coming to you is unstoppable, unless you invite the wrong eyes into your womb of destiny. Your vision is still developing. Let it stay in the dark a little longer. The light will be too bright for those who want to steal it before it's ready. Don't be afraid to detach. You're not losing people, you're making room for promise. God is rearranging your circle so your prophecy doesn't miscarry under pressure. Stay focused. Stay silent. Stay guarded. You are walking with prophetic weight. Every look, every movement, every pause is loaded with spiritual substance. That's why people are watching you without speaking, they feel what you carry even if they can't name it. The person you once called friend is slowly turning into a mirror of envy. They smile, but behind the smile is a storm of questions. Why are you glowing? Why are doors opening for you? Why now? They won't say it aloud, but it's leaking through their silence. Their eyes betray what their mouth is too proud to confess. You've become the evidence that favor cannot be copied. Type Amen to get blessing 1122. This is why heaven has hidden you. It's why your recent successes feel quiet, private, even anticlimactic. It's not that they're small, it's that they're sacred. The breakthrough is so divine that even a whisper in the wrong space could cause delay. Your elevation is not for display. It is for divine positioning. You're not just going higher, you're being realigned with what was stolen from your lineage. You're correcting something generational. You're undoing years of spiritual sabotage. That's why it feels lonely. That's why you feel misunderstood. You're birthing something too rare to be cheered by the crowd. Type Amen to get blessing 4545. Your name has entered into the mouths of influential people, people you don't even know. They've seen your light from afar and sensed something different. And now, heaven is orchestrating alignment. But be warned, before the elevation becomes visible, the enemy will send a decoy. A conversation. A concerned friend. A too-good-to-be-true opportunity. This is where your discernment must become your bodyguard. You must feel the vibration behind the voice. You must weigh the spirit, not the style. You'll know them by the tension they bring. Peace will never confuse you. But counterfeits always will. Type Amen to get blessing 611. There is a divine transaction taking place in the next few days. You will feel the shift. It may come in a dream, a message, or a moment of intense clarity. Don't ignore it. You may feel the urge to message someone, to explain what's changing. Resist it. Some people deserve closure. But not access. You're not doing this for attention. You're doing it out of obedience. This next chapter is not about revenge or proving yourself, it's about fulfillment. Let God vindicate you by blessing you in the face of those who doubted. That is the loudest justice of all. Type Amen to get blessing 747. Archangel Michael says, the louder their jealousy becomes, the quieter you must move. You will gain more by doing less. By showing less. By revealing only what is necessary. Heaven's instructions are precise. You were not created to impress, only to obey. That is why God is pulling you away from certain people. He's not being cruel. He's protecting the prophecy. Their jealousy would pollute the blessing. Their bitterness would choke the roots of your breakthrough. Your silence is saving everything. Even now, someone you love is feeling the tension. They sense you pulling back. Don't run back to explain. Just keep going. Type Amen to get blessing 5220. Everything is shifting now. What once resisted you will now open. But your silence is your sword. The person pretending to cheer for you is hoping you'll overshare. They want to catch the timeline of your favor and trip you mid-run. But you will not fall this time. You are surrounded by the unseen. Angels are stationed around you like guards. Your name is not just protected, it is encrypted. Your glow is not ordinary. It is evidence that heaven touched your timeline and adjusted it in your favor. Keep glowing, but don't speak. Type Amen to get blessing 316. You'll know the moment of exposure is near when three things happen: old connections reappear, small irritations become spiritual signals, and people start accusing you of changing. Let them talk. Let them assume. Your silence is their confusion. They won't know whether to fear you or follow you. That's because the spirit of elevation always comes with mystery. And mystery protects what man cannot handle. They're offended because you're no longer predictable. That's a good sign. That means you've entered your prophetic layer. Type Amen to get blessing 2662. The inheritance is falling into your hands now. But it's heavy. Not in burden, but in responsibility. You will have to manage favor in a room full of watchers. You'll have to carry purpose among people who remember your past. But none of that can stop what's already been sealed. Keep your eyes forward. Keep your lips guarded. The whispers around you will grow louder, but your spirit will remain still. You are rising because it's time. Not because they allowed it. Not because you forced it. But because heaven finally said, now. Type Amen to get blessing 1188. The time of hiding is nearly over, but the time of testing is not. You're about to walk into divine exposure. What you do now determines whether you stay or start over. Don't flaunt the favor. Don't document every open door. The most powerful moves are always the quietest. When they ask you where you've been, smile. When they ask what's next, pause. Let your steps answer for you. What's coming cannot be rushed, and what's meant for you cannot be intercepted, unless you hand it away through careless sharing. Type Amen to get blessing 2331.